Hey guys, so today or tonight, because it's like 8:20 p.m. right now, I am going to kind of share what I've noticed while I was in Korea. And just keep in mind that I've only been in Korea for 5 months. Only? Oof. I'm not in Korea anymore. I'm back in the US, but yeah. I made it sound like I'm still in Korea, but I'm not, but yeah. And I've never lived abroad before I went to Korea, so yeah. And I'm American, so I guess it's kind of like an American perspective, maybe. I don't know. Everyone is different regardless of where you're from, but I'm just putting that out there. Uh, so I have a list, because, I want to keep that organization up. So, okay, so we're going to, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. So, one of the things I noticed was the lack of garbages on the streets. I guess I'm just so used to having access to garbages in public, but for whatever reason in Korea, there's not a whole lot of garbages. Like, there's none in restaurants, and there's none just around on the sidewalk, so I just kind of had to like stuff my garbage in my purse or something. Like, sometimes I would grab food and I would eat it like on the street, and I'm pretty sure like you don't do that in Korea, but I do. So but yeah. Another thing is that there's no paper toweling in the bathroom necessarily. I don't know why I didn't expect it, but I didn't. I remember going in and using the bathroom for the first time, and then I walk out and go to the sink, wash my hands, and then I'm looking for the paper towel, and I'm like, where's the paper towel? And I several times had to leave with wet hands or dry them on my pants because there's just no paper toweling. And that same thing goes for toilet paper. Like, I've had so many times where I repeatedly did this, and I don't know why I didn't just bring toilet paper with me, but there were as many times where I used the restroom and there was no toilet paper. None whatsoever. And there's no paper towels, so like I couldn't like just walk out real quick, and I sometimes had to just either use my underwear or just suck it up and have wet pants, like literally. And the worst part was sometimes the bathrooms didn't have soap, so I couldn't even wash my hands. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't want to go out and be like spreading germs everywhere. Like, I don't know. Like, I just thought that was interesting. Not all bathrooms were like that, but I noticed that with some bathrooms that was the problem. So, well, for me anyway, it's normal in Korea, but for me as someone who's used to paper toweling in the bathrooms and toilet paper, I just yeah. Okay, so for some reason I expected Korea to smell different, and I say this because when I went to Mexico, that was the first country I've ever been to outside the United States. It smelled different. Like, the scent, the aura was very different. But when I arrived at Incheon International Airport, I didn't smell anything different. Like, nothing seemed off except for, obviously everything was in Korean, but other than that, I didn't feel like I was like in a different place. It was so weird. And it was, I don't know. The lack of smell or like a different scent in Korea was just so weird to me. I don't know. And then I went to Thailand, and then like they had like a similar smell to Mexico for some reason. Like, it's not exactly the same, but they have a similar aura, and I don't know how to think of that. But yeah, for some reason Korea didn't smell or seem any different other than the language. So yeah, in terms of when I first got there, and just yeah. Okay, So so the highways are also a lot like the US. I remember taking the bus to my dorm and just kind of noticing the highways were a lot similar to here. So yeah. And also on the roads, you can do a U-turn like legally, and it I don't know, like that always boggled my mind because in the US there are little divots where in the highway you can turn around, but technically you can't use those because those are used for emergencies only, so it's kind of illegal to do a U-turn here. But in Korea it's like U-turn, there's like designated areas or lanes where you can do a U-turn on the highway. And it's, I don't know, for me it always was so weird because like I'm so used to not being able to do U-turns, but like people can actually do like U-turns on the highway in Korea, and I'm just like, okay then. So public transportation is really amazing in Korea. I prefer the buses though. I mean, the subway is pretty great, it's pretty cheap, but buses are way better in my opinion. But overall, public transportation is great. It makes me kind of hate I can't speak. It makes me kind of hate public transportation in the United States, at least where I'm from, so it's, I don't know. And the clothes there are cheap and cute AF. Like, it is, but you have to go to certain stores because I noticed that in Suwon, there's actually a lot of stores where the clothes are a little bit more expensive. But if you go to Gangnam Station, that's where all the cheap goodies are. Like, you can get a ton of different cute clothes for such a cheap price, and yeah, that was like my go-to place to get clothes. So also, I did not really expect this, but Korea is cafe heaven and just coffee heaven in general. So many cafes just on one street. It's so ridiculous. And when I would go to convenience stores or just anywhere really where you can get food, there's so many options for coffee. It's not even funny. I didn't even get to try all the different kinds of coffee they have there. It is ridiculously awesome how much coffee there is. And I love coffee, so it is fantastic. And they're amazing. The drinks at both the cafes and the convenience stores are amazing. So if you're a coffee lover, go to Korea. It is fantastic. It's also very convenient. I feel like, well, I don't know about Seoul, but I was in Suwon, so I find Suwon very convenient with pretty much everything, other than paper toweling in the bathroom. But like, it is pretty convenient, and I appreciate the conveniency of like everything. So maybe it's just because I was in a city, and like cities have like convenient things, but I've never lived in a city before. So yeah, well, the first time I lived in a city was when I was in Korea, so yeah. And speaking of conveniency, delivering services are also very awesome. Like, you can order chicken and whatever, and it can deliver to like a lot of different places, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So, and okay, so I don't know why I didn't expect this, but Korea has those like hand shower things where you place it in a like a holder, and it can act like a actual shower head, but it also can come off and you can just like use it just kind of like a hand shower thing. I don't know what, I didn't really expect that, and you see that a lot in all kinds of like areas where there are showers, I guess. I've been to a different oh my god, I'm sorry, I can't speak. I've been to a few Korean households, and I noticed that both in the dorms and in one of the homes I was in, there are shower heads also where you can just like take it off and just like yay. And okay, so Korea, for the most, well, not for the most part, but Korea typically has Western style toilets, so like you don't really have to use squat toilets very often, but squat toilets do exist still. And I've had to use one a couple times. I think I've used one twice in Korea, and like, I don't know, I just thought it was an interesting experience. Like, I remember I was at this one station and I was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. And I go to the bathroom. There's one stall open that like nobody's using. And I'm like, oh, why is like no one using this one? And I just go in and it's a squat toilet. And I'm just like, okay, well, apparently this is how it's going to be today. Alright, I guess I'm doing this. And it was quite interesting. Like, it took me a little bit to like figure out how to like, you know, flush it, but like, it was good. It was, well, not good, but like it was interesting to do. And I knew this before going to Korea, but drinking socially is pretty normal there. I mean, the drinking age I think is 20, so I was of age, so I could, you know, go out and drink. And it was just, I don't know, it was just very interesting how, I don't know, the drinking culture in Korea is very fun, and it's really, I don't know, like, just a lot of people do it, and it's just a really social thing. And I don't know, I really like the drinking culture there, because it's not like, I don't know, here where you get, I guess, blacked out drunk. Well, that's not always the case, but still. But typically it's just, you know, you get a little tipsy and you have a little fun, but I don't know, drinking culture there is very interesting. And there's a lot of drinking games, so it's very interesting. Sorry I keep on looking down. I don't remember anything, so I expected this too. People, like groups of friends, both guys and gals, are a little bit more touchy with each other. Like, guys would like wrap their hands around each other's shoulders, but that's pretty much all I see though. Like, I don't really see as much touching with guys as there are with girls. Like, girls would like hold hands or like wrap their arm around their arm, like an escort kind of thing. And yeah, but I also know some Korean guys where they just don't want to touch their friends, or like, no, I'm not the kind of person to like touch my friends on the shoulder. Like, that's kind of weird to me. But yeah, just in general, I've seen a lot more like kinship, I guess. So, because you don't really see that in America. Like, no one like touches each other. Like, everyone kind of has, I guess, their own space, and I don't know. So. Okay, so I also didn't know about PCbangs. I should have known about this, but I didn't for some reason. But PCbangs exist. That's, I just, the existence of PCbangs, that's what I found out about.